Okay, Roy.
Yeah.
What's your second name, Roy?
My second name, Goldman.
Roy Goldman.
Yeah.
And we're here today. We're just finishing up at the Irish Open 3D Championships, courtesy of Israeli Archers. Fantastic day, fantastic weather, great day.
Yeah.
And I've had the absolute pleasure of shooting with you and Amir for both days. And great fun.
Yeah,
it
it was.
was really, really amazing. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and I thank you very much for that.
Yeah, I didn't think, I thought it might be, nice and different. Didn't think I'd laugh that much.
Yeah.
It was a crack through the whole course, both days. Amazing, yeah.
Really, really. So, Roy, can you tell us a little bit about your club back in Israel?
You know what?
Tell us a little bit about your club back in
Oh
Israel.
well, I thought it's basically an old traditional club, and I teach very very strict doctrine and very expensive. Everything is very thought of, and our shooting sequence is very rehearsed. The aiming is intuitive, but the style, if you see like a group of my archers in a line shooting next to each other, you see it's almost identical, because each of the movements of the sequence, even breathing, is comprised into that shot sequence. So it's basically a school that took intuitive and instinctive archery into something that looks a bit more like a martial art,
Of course.
like kendo or any kinds of like karate. So it's basically an art form. Yeah.
No, because I was watching yourself and Amir out there today, and we chatted a little bit about it as well. And I think it's a very interesting concept to introduce into your typical shot cycle. That extra kind of intuitive, almost mindful element to it.
Yeah.
As a component of your shot cycle.
Yeah,
Do you know?
yeah.
I think it's fascinating.
It has to be like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Brilliant. And do you have any members in your club?
Do I have
Do you have many members in your
many?
club?
I have. I'm nearing 70,
Yes.
and considering all of the listed archers in Israel are sum up to about 350, I'd say it's pretty much, yeah.
Absolutely.
And I hold probably half, even more than half of the traditional archers in my club, including all the winners. So, and the winners are, as you've
Oh,
seen,
as I've witnessed.
all young, 16, 17 to 18 year old archers, yeah, winning against adults. So, yeah.
And as you say, the predominant bow style now is traditional.
In Israel,
Yeah.
no, it's actually Olympic recurve.
Okay.
Most of it. It used to be in second place. Used to be compound, but I've been working hard, so we kind of surpassed them.
Yeah.
And we're probably the second after Olympic recurve.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And your club in Israel. What's the name of your club in Israel, by the way?
Way of the Bow.
Way of the Bow.
Yeah.
And are you? Who are you affiliated with in terms of the archery body, the world organisations? What's your main affiliation?
It's World Archery.
Okay. Right. And we're hoping maybe that you might get into IFAA then eventually as well. So
We already started the process
Brilliant.
and emailed them, and we're expecting to open an Israeli branch
Brilliant.
of IFAA. Yeah.
excellent. And in Israel, what would a typical outdoor archery competition look like?
Same but way smaller,
Okay.
with less archers, and everything is a bit more improvised than here. Equipment, targets, arrows, bows costs way more in Israel, unfortunately, because of delivery costs. So we cut our own 3D targets from foam and painted ourselves with all kind of acrylic paints, and we do the best we can with what we have. Unfortunately, archery is a very unknown sport in Israel. Everybody looking at us like we're these kind of aliens. What, you do archery? What, like kids? And while like big sports like football or basketball are sponsored and they have lots of money going through, archery, when I went in 2018 to the European Championship to represent Israel, I had actually to pay for my own shirts. Yeah, that's how it is. So yeah, I mean, but it's a process. We're expanding, we're growing, and hopefully I'm doing the best I can to achieve
You certainly
that.
are. Well, I mean, like traveling over here now as well. I mean, it's fantastic to see. In fairness,
Oh,
and would you hold for the competitions that are over there? Would they be predominantly indoor faces, or would you do many 3Ds, or is there a mixture?
I don't know. I try to, go with the flow
Yeah.
of the club and the students. The way I see it, because I teach them. I basically, as much as I feel that I'm showing them a way, I'm also providing them a service. So for those who would pull me towards being more indoor target archery, I give them a proper answer. But actually, most of them love 3D and field, just going out in nature, and I can relate to that. It's amazing. Well, especially in this kind of nature here in Ireland, which is something out of a fantasy movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, after these couple of days here, I realized that I'm gonna put more effort into shooting in nature, definitely.
Brilliant. And just getting back to the technique, where you're focusing on, say, the intuitive aspect of archery, where did that come to you? Or is that something that you developed yourself personally, or was it something you introduced yourself, or was it something that was taught to you? That aspect of introducing, I suppose, the intuitive, mindful aspect to the shot cycle. Just explore that a little bit more, where that came from.
Well, when I was 15 many years ago, I actually started with Olympic recurve. I shot for a while Olympic recurve, and then I kind of stopped. And alongside that, I was very deep into spirituality, meditations, and all kinds of moving meditations, and also martial arts. I did like jiu-jitsu for many years, and kung fu and tai chi. So in a way, at a certain point in my life, at my early 30s, everything just clicked together, and this art form that I've basically created, it was just gathering everything I know into what I really want to be and to teach, and that's how it was born. And I didn't even think about shooting intuitively. So I just met a friend of mine, and he gave me a bow and didn't have a sight on, and he showed me the basics, and I was completely hooked after like a couple of arrows on the idea of just looking with both eyes open at a target and just feeling, connecting to yourself inwards, and it just flew on from there.
And that was something that we kind of touched upon there in the competition there today, where we spoke about not necessarily scoring the target, but scoring how you felt during the shot. Regardless of where the arrow went, just how you felt with that shot and give yourself a score. I thought that was a very interesting way of looking at it. Like,
it's all about that.
Yeah.
At the end, even if you're shooting intuitively, or with a compound, or with a sight, or bare bow without a sight, it's all about how you feel when you release the string. Were your shoulders tense or relaxed? Did you feel calm? Were you in the shot? Meaning, were you present? Did you feel that you connecting with this little dot in front of you when you release the tension on the string? It's all about that magical, that endless moment of release. The release comes from, for me, the release comes from the soul. It's something in you just that shouts, I'm ready, I'm here, I'm letting go. And if it's true, your aim is true, and you hit the middle of the target, and that's exactly what I look for, what I strive for in every shot. And that's what I strive to teach as well.
Yeah.
And fortunately, well, it seems to catch on, because I've got really, really talented and capable students.
Absolutely. I mean, it's amazing. You know, the performance now from them today. Like, it's absolutely amazing. Like,
it is. You know, we all had good days and bad days sometimes.
Yeah.
We botch the shot. Sometimes we ace it. It's a part of life, and we take our lessons outside from the field to everyday life, and I think that's what archery really is about.
And would you and your club, would you travel much to international competitions apart from Ireland?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah. I think this is fun.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't do it. This is my third time I'm taking students to abroad. This is my first competition I'm taking students, and after these 2 days, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do this from time to time. This is fun.
Yeah.
So definitely, it's a grand start. It's going to continue.
And of course, I've made a promise that if you do come back, I'm going to shoot trad.
I'm going to hold you to that. Yeah.
Fair enough. And your club structure, apart from yourself, are there many coaches in your club?
No,
Just yourself.
just me.
Okay.
My brilliant student Netta here is entering instructor course in a couple of months. And he's my protege basically. If somebody's gonna inherit this thing that I've built, it's this wonderful guy. And I have a few friends, a few students, and my girlfriend is gonna enter, and I'm gonna have a few. But now it's a one-man show up until now. Yeah.
And would you like that? Because, as you say, it's a growing pursuit in Israel. For your club, on its own, is there much of a waiting list now for archers wanting to come online?
For me, yeah.
Yeah.
For me, there's a waiting list. There are at least, I think, 4 or 5 all the time that are waiting to get into groups. So yeah, I'm very eager to have a new instructor teaching the way of the bow method, which is completely different than everything you know. It's every place people see me or my students shooting and starting asking questions, not realizing it's something completely different than any kind of other intuitive or sighted archery. So I have to have more instructors because I have to continue that legacy.
Absolutely, yeah. And apart from Slaney, which is in itself a magnificent course.
Oof.
And have you visited any other clubs or courses in Ireland?
No, not yet. Unfortunately, so our first tour in Ireland up until a few months ago, there wasn't a direct flight from Israel to Ireland. So, and we were kind of afraid of connection flights because of losing the equipment.
Yeah.
So up until now, we flew only to places that were direct flight. But now we see a good opportunity.
Fantastic.
And I mean, the hospitality and the people here are so warm and welcoming. It's such fun for me, for my students. So we definitely gonna come back here for sure. Yeah.
Brilliant. And when you look at the archery scene in Ireland compared to how it is in Israel, what would you say there were some of the more striking differences that maybe stand out for you when you arrive here and you're shooting? You know, well, this is not what we do in Israel. This is how it looks different in Israel. Or is there anything, a striking difference that stand out?
There is.
Yeah.
There is a huge difference. I mean, if you look at the scenery around physically, visually, it looks kind of the same. Still, yeah, smaller in Israel, but you know, same bows, same makers, same like type of people interested in archery. But the biggest difference is that sense of camaraderie I feel here. People who compete against each other, you know, give a warm hug, crack a couple of jokes, and you know, meet in a pub afterwards, and that is something that is it's heartwarming. It's amazing, and not only in Israel, I haven't seen that, you know, in other places as well. I think that is something that archery in Ireland has. That it's first of all that camaraderie, and I hope, you know, people from the rest of the world can learn from that. That is, you know, we're doing the same thing, and we enjoy it, so we might as well be all, you know, friends doing that same thing. So
I think that's one of the attractions I have found with archery personally as well. That it's not, even though there is a competitive element to it, that is just one component to the whole, you know, aspect of it. You know, it's just one small thing, and as you said, to get in there and really, you know, feel it. It's something to be experienced. Like
it's,
you know,
yeah. I've known Alan for years before, and there's the Alan Convery, and they're both competing in the same and what next to each other, shoulder to shoulder in the same category in every competition, still they're best friends, and that's almost, I'd say, almost enviable. How these people, connect and are next to each other. So that's rare and that's beautiful, and that's something to learn from, definitely.
So I think you've kind of answered my next question, was that in terms of, say, when you go for competitions for the Way of the Bow, I was going to ask, was it tended to be more, say, competitive? Some clubs would be more, say, competitive, others would be more kind of social. It's just the way it works. But there seems to be kind of a nice balance with the Way of the Bow, your club.
It has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be. It's because if we strive to center on cleaning ourselves from the inside and finding that perfect shot through being calm and centered, and yet alongside that being competitive, and it doesn't work. It's not, it's seeking that harmony inside. So it doesn't matter if we compete next to each other. We all have to be friends and to respect each other and to be friendly.
Of course.
Has to be that way, yeah.
It has to be. It just has to be.
That's what we strive to have. And I mean, in my club, my youth has no competition in Israel. None of them even coming close. So they compete next to each other in Israeli competition in youth categories. So basically are sharing the first, second, and third place in the on the podium. Still, they're friends.
And it's interesting you say that, because, again, not to focus on the competitive aspect, but looking at their scores today and the traditional shooters, they're up there with the bare bow and the recurve scores, and that's amazing. Because you don't have that air or element of complacency or apathy setting in.
No.
There's still that strive to be better.
Yeah.
Especially
among young people, that's commendable.
That's amazing.
The fact that they can, focus and do bring out the best from themselves when they're 16 and 17. That's rare.
Yeah, and to have that kind of mutual kind of motivation coming from each other.
Yeah. Also, I worked hard for that.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to see it works.
So, that's pretty much it, Roy. Unless there's something else you want to maybe mention or you want to add to it?
No, just to say it's been fun.
Yeah.
It's been loads of
Brilliant.
fun. We're going to be back here soon for sure.
Fantastic. Well, Roy, it's been an absolute pleasure to shoot with you for the last 2 days, and it's been really fun, and I'm looking forward to you coming back again.
I will, for sure.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Roy.